Daniel, and welcome to my YouTube channel. We here at the channel are continuing our series of videos with respect to information, education, inspiration, guidance, and advice. And in the last video, I was talking about the holy Rebbe of Berditchev and the concept in the Shema of loving God b'chol Meodecha, with all your resources, with everything you have, with all you got. And talking about the price of the dog. There's another story. This is about the Rebbe of Chernobyl, the Tchernobyler Rebbe. It was, I believe this was a story was summed up by Rabbi Pesach Kron and Harav Sholem Schwadron. They were talking about the way we spend our money. It's relative. We take pride, spend a large sum of money for some people can spend an awful lot of money for an esrog on Sukkos. Spend a lot of money on a really, really nice pair of tefillin, especially if they're done by a particular sofer, a particular scribe. We feel good when we give a lot of money for charity, a big check for tzedakah. These acts are relative. If we spend twice as much on ourselves, for example, a new car, a home, clothes, trips, vacation, various forms of fun, then the money we spend on the mitzvah is not really of great sacrifice. If you remember the way Rebbe Yitzhak compared the price of the 400 rubles that the Gentile landowner gave for the tutor compared to the $400 he spent on a dog, it's relative. Similarly with us, the money that we spend is relative. If we spend a lot of money on tzedakah, on charity, great. But if you spend more money on going to vacation and having a good time, it balances out. So I want to tell a story with respect to Bechol Meodecha, with respect to Rav Nachum of Tchernobyl. He once came to a small town. And the small town had a proportionately small number of Jewish inhabitants. And he expressed his desire to go to the town's Mikvah. And he learned, to his chagrin, that this town didn't have a Mikvah at all. And they also said, since the town was elevated, it was on a hill, the amount it would cost to drill down to get well water, it's just in the search of water. It's prohibitively expensive. The Jewish community could not financially undertake such a project. So the Tchernobyler Rebbe turned to the community's leaderships, all the big machers as they were. They said, is there a wealthy man in this community who would fund this project and maintain the mikveh in exchange for my portion of Olam Haba, my share in the world to come? The people gasped. Word went out that the famous Tchernobyler Rebbe was selling his share in the world to come, his portion of Olam Haba, for a mikveh for the town. Sure enough, the wealthiest guy in town immediately appeared with sufficient funds for the building and maintenance of a brand new mikveh for the town. The deal was made. The Rebbe made a bona fide sale. He had papers drawn up, an agreement of purchase and sale, the cost of the building and the maintaining of the mikveh in exchange for my share in Olam Haba, signed the Tchernobyler Rebbe. People were ashen-faced. They were shocked beyond words. The Tchernobyler Rebbe, on the other hand, was ecstatic. He was thrilled. Why? Because now, this is him talking now, now I can truly say that I have served the Creator, I serve God out of love and not for a reward. When he was later asked how he could give up his eternal life in exchange for a mikveh, It's not a palace, it's a mikveh. I mean, it's, it's not the biggest sum of money in the world. Rav Nachum of Tchernobyl responded on the contrary. Tell me, how could someone like me, without money, with no funds, no wherewithal, and who finds no interest in material possessions, could ever fill the mitzvah of loving God b'kol Meodecha, with all of my possessions? I don't have any possessions. How could I twice daily utter a falsehood, saying with the Shema, love God with all your resources? How could I do that? All I have, the only possession I have, was my share in Olam Haba, in the world to come. That is my most prized possession, and I was honored to sell it, to give it up for God, L'Shem Shemayim. Two different approaches to B'chol Meodecha and the relative value of material sacrifices. The one for the 400 rubles for the dog, and the one for the price of a mikvah and selling your share in Olam Haba. They both represent a deeper understanding of the commitment necessary for an individual person to serve God. We're going to be doing more videos along these lines. Please come back. Please watch. Please learn. I hope you're finding them of some inspiration, some guidance, some solace, especially in these troubled times. And until next time, I'm Daniel, and thank you too much.